everything's a balance in life. Pain, pleasure, we're always on the fence there, trying to have the perfect balance so we don't have any horrible extremes. Even though we'd all like to get a little higher, that's why drinking can be problematic. It's not like, I mean, some people have achieved this, but most people, they don't get to that 2 or 3 beer mark and they're like, this is great, I've achieved it, I've achieved getting the buzz. It's like most people are like, no, we're finishing the bottle, don't stop till it's gone, type thing, you know. But I think, and this is my hot take, is that I would like to explore more into the realm of hedonism, and as opposed to asceticism, not aesthetic, asceticism, which is the opposite of hedonism, which is avoidance of all pleasures. Inevitably, you'll just get high on life, though, so you can't really completely avoid all pleasures. And of course, you can't avoid all pain either. It's just the duality we live in, the dualarity, like I like to call it. But there's, it's just, we live in this world where for every up, there's a down. If you get high, you're gonna come down, and you're gonna crash at some point. You can't stay up there. You gotta land your aircraft, metaphorically speaking. But also, like, literally, if you're flying an aircraft, you have to land it eventually. That's the metaphor. Kind of goofy this morning. I am in, like, a lot of pain right now because my shoulder blade, I just have a crick in my back. It's like, God, if you were to take a nail and a hammer and put it in between my spine and my shoulder blade, it probably wouldn't feel a lot different than what it feels like right now. Just saying. I get pretty goofy because that's just how I deal with pain. I crack lots of jokes about it. And I'm not being, like, cynical. I'm just... It's a great day to talk about the pleasure and pain thing. I would just like... I am an explorer of consciousness and of the felt presence of experience, which is part of consciousness. Like, you're conscious of what you feel, right? And we just get to explore a little bit of the spectrum, and we get to explore the dualarity, the polarity here, going from one to the other, and now we're here, and now we're on the pain side, now we're on the joy side. But you can have joy in the pain too. Just as far as feeling good, not feeling good, not feeling good, feeling good. It's our whole lives. Or there's a mix of in between. Like, I feel pretty good right now. I'm pretty loaded on coffee, but the pain in my back is very loud. Very loud. It's like just a fucking siren going off this whole time. But anyways, I didn't come to complain about my pain, just to mention it. But there's so many more realms to experience, and I think we're often like, we feel kind of guilty of pleasures and stuff. Like, anything that's too pleasureful is like a guilty, it's sinful. Like with sweets or whatever, like it's like, oh no, we don't deserve this. I think we deserve way more pleasure. I did a video a while back that is, I want to do more on that premise, but it's like, what do we deserve as autonomous, sovereign beings bearing free will? What's entitlement, and what's just should we have as, like, just decency and dignity? Like, what do we deserve? Like, I think we deserve a choice. It's like we deserve to have full access to our memories as we choose. We deserve to be able to better have more control over our felt presence of experience. And we are able to do that. For example, like, if you're upset and something's gotten you down, something's pissed you off, you can... I used to do this with my clients. This is like a very well-known technique, is redirecting. Being like, okay, we're upset right now, let's go over here and do this other thing. Let's get out of this space. Let's switch it up. Let's change the channel. And so we are able to change our felt presence of experience, but things just come back. Like, I'm talking like bigger life things like heartbreak and stuff. We all know these things just linger on over time, and it's like we're not trying to like always feel that like despondency, that pining. Like, no, that's like I'm only here for so long. I don't want to waste time pining over stuff. I want to feel what I want to feel, and I don't even need drugs to feel that. In fact, it's a shame we have to use drugs to alter that stuff instead of just being able to get in the control panel of our molecular arrangements and be able to control that or have more of a say over our personal felt presence of experience and all the experiences. And of course there's going to be dynamic because the outside influences the inside and the inside world affects the outside because of your actions and your choices. So I'm just reviewing like basically the aspects of it that we know. And we certainly have, it's like maybe we have as much pain as pleasure. And maybe that's the thing that's going on down here, and we learn to work through the pain and kind of build tolerance to the pain so that we can also experience pleasure in the midst of it. That's a very, that would check out. That would really check out. And yeah, I would like to be able to withstand more. But I'm not trying to just do the pain and pleasure duality. I mean, there is more of it than that. At this point, I'm kind of just talking out loud. Because I was going to say it'd be nice if we had more of the pleasure and less of the pain, obviously. We would all vote for that. And maybe there's an equal amount, so maybe it's fine as it is. But there's such a big spectrum of felt presence of experience, and I feel like we've been like reduced to it's like it's kind of like this life we've probably been advertised for more than what actually goes on down here. It has that kind of scammy vibe where it's like, oh, you have free will, you have all this stuff, but you're gonna be kind of blinded to not be able to make that many decisions. If you can't see all the different paths in front of you, how are you gonna know which one you want to take? Or it's like it's hard to have any kind of foresight in this life. Anyway, that's just a valid existential complaint. I think we're allowed to have those. I think it's just part of free thinking and being like, hey guys, why does it keep being like this way, that way, instead of like, let's pave a new path that's not so polarized as this just like fork in the road. Let's have a more nuanced path. And I've been encouraged to see a lot of people kind of more take that road because the polarity is just so charged. It's so predictable. It's like, oh, okay, it's like you think in this leftist way and blah, 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 or you think in this like more right-wing way, and it's all predictable with a few little variations. And I don't know, we just need more variety, because what I see there is just a lot of conformity. Just a lot of people regurgitating and masturbating those same ideologies. They're just mentally just jerking them off on people. And I know, not the most tasteful analogy, but it's not a very tasteful thing to be doing that. To be just continually projecting and projecting the same things, just projecting on the other side that they're the evil ones. It's like we're all limited, or it's like that they're the stupid ones. It's like whatever. Like maybe you can admit they're not evil, but that whole polarity thing, it's just been going on, and there's new iterations of it, and it's predictable. But there's another path. There's other paths to take, and I am one of the trailblazers. I'm blazing a new trail of thinking, of being, of moving through the space in a certain way, like wielding my sentient consciousness, my free will. and being like, hey, I don't want this multiple choice of A, B, C, and maybe D. I want to write in my answers. Because oftentimes in life, people will say, oh, well, you wished for this, and then you got what you wished for, and it wasn't what you thought it was. Well, I want to wish what I wished for, and it be what I wanted it to be. Otherwise, I didn't really get what I wished for. See what I mean? There's a flawed logic there. There's like, oh, you got what you wished for. It's like, no, actually, you didn't get what you wished for. You got kind of a false version of it because it didn't have the effect that you were going for. And if you knew the way to get that effect, you would have taken that approach, right? Something to think about there. And yeah, there's lots of nuances to it. And in our consciousness, we're very in the present moment. We're kind of attached to the present moment. That's why it's hard to be disciplined. And a lot of people are like, stay in the present moment. And it's like, you don't want to be too much in the present moment because it becomes myopic. Like it's like you're just doing things for you in the now. Like I do things for future me. I'll get my coffee ready, and then in the morning when I'm all like whatever, like clumsy and not awake yet, oh, future Deja, prepared my coffee and got it all ready to go. I just need to pour the water. Little things like that. Or you know, when it comes to the pleasure pain thing, like you're 3 drinks in, being like, that's enough. I don't want to cause future me, to be decrepit and struggling. Even though sometimes 3 drinks can do that. I'm a 3-drink guy now. I almost get more of a headache from 1 drink. It's kind of weird. Like there's a threshold in there, and you get to the 3, and somehow it's enough. Your body gets tired, and then like the wave. I don't understand it, but for some reason it seems to be that way. I actually end up being less in pain. Maybe it's psychosomatic. I have no idea. It doesn't seem very scientific, I'll tell you that. It doesn't check out very well, but anyways, not to get off on that. It's just not just being too attached to the present moment. And a lot of people that preach that, they're like, no, it's the opposite. It's not being attached, but inevitably you get attached. Attachment in the way where it's like you are in it, and it's like I'm attached to this present moment in the way that my wheels are attached to the ground and my hands attached to the steering wheel, and I am. But you probably mean a different kind of attached. Like the people that argue or that make the point that I'm kind of arguing against is like saying like not to be attached where it lingers like through the past. That's fair. But what I'm arguing is that we kind of just inevitably attach. Like we're just attaching creatures, and we get used to things. And any moment we spend in anything, we get attached to it. That's why after an awkward moment, it kind of lingers on. Like you're not trying to attach to the awkward moment, you're just feeling the felt presence of it. And so there is a level of attachment there, is all I'm saying. So it's good to be aware of, but it's just, I think it's intrinsic, Anyway, I'll let that be enough for this video.